I think another sort of country region that I think is close to recession is probably the UK, reluctantly raising rates more recently. Europe probably also sort of a step behind those countries. But I'd say Asia is in a bit of a different place just because China has opened up. And China, while the growth and recovery this time around is going to feel and look different than what it has done in the past because it is not investment-led, but instead it's a lot more pent-up demand, domestic sort of driven, it will benefit parts of Asia and also other parts of EM, such as Brazil, for instance. But I do think that Asia is in a bit of a different cycle compared to the West, compared to the US, compared to the UK, compared to Europe.
But all doesn't rest on China only, right? So we've not seen the big bang recovery that we were expecting from the China reopen. But you look at India, you look at ASEAN, you look at Indonesia. Like the demographic story over here in Asia is so strong that I feel like it's going to help lift sentiment for investment around Asia, but not just because of China. It's going to be widespread and equal weighted across the region. I'd
still focus on the China story. Yes, has it been has it been a V recovery? No. It's going to be gradual, and there's going to be a need to be patient. And the key sort of missing element is consumer confidence in China. And that's been lagging because employment has been in a difficult spot the past couple of years. But past the NPC, the two sessions we've seen essentially an emphasis and focus on improving employment. Once that happens, that allows essentially consumer confidence and household confidence to improve. That essentially unleashes the pent-up demand. And that's, again, going to benefit the rest of Asia as well.
That'll benefit Chinese tech names as well. I know you can't talk specific names, but being from the House of Fidelity, a reputed house in this part of the world, would want to get your sense on the Alibaba split and what that indicates on where the future lies for Chinese tech.
Sure. So there's been a lot of buzz in the office, as you can imagine, sort of our team chat sort of constantly pinging. But I would probably take a step back and rather than sort of commenting specifically about sort of one particular tech company, I'd say what is happening, right? Yeah. We're seeing essentially...
Where is this going?
The regulatory headwinds that we had in the past 2 years, that's really been what's cost performance in that part of in Chinese equities and tech and China tech as well. That's now becoming from a headwind to a tailwind. And I think the specific example sort of this morning or overnight is example whereby you have senior leadership blessing for unlocking value. And to me, that is a fantastic indication where we're now essentially moving from regulation not being the issue that it was. And essentially, I mean, Chinese leadership has gone sort of to great lengths to try to embrace the private sector, whether it's manufacturing, where they hope and think that that's going to be a key driver of growth in the future. They're really embracing that, whereas that was a bit of a different story a couple of years ago, or 2021 and 2022.